What's up, guys? Welcome to your Bitcoin and market update. We're going to take a look at the Dow Jones, the dollar, going to take a look at some real interesting things. Also want to show you a comparison on the gold daily to the Bitcoin chart of where we're at now. Definitely stick around. We're going to take a look at the invalidation areas to see if we can still get down to our lower lows, or are we going to go up from here. Definitely stick around for the whole video. Don't forget we have a free Discord group. There's a link down below in the description. Definitely check it out, and let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Don't forget, we do a Ledger Nano S hard wallet giveaway. We do that every Monday. So today at the end of the video, we'll be doing our giveaway. All you have to do to enter to win is make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tick that notification bell to get you notified when I post videos. Also, guys, take a second out, smash the likes, leave a comment below. That'll get you entered to win. All right, looking at the Dow Jones. So we had the higher highs over here, and we were making lower highs in the RSI, bearish divergence, and that was before our big March crash. We seem to be forming almost an identical fractal over here. Could we be looking for the same thing? We're making lower highs in the RSI, higher highs in the price action. We had our dump last week. We had a nice correction. We're coming back to test this high now. If we do get back above this 31,670 area, then that could be invalidated. If we look back here, we did the same type thing if we put it to the prior high before we had that pump. We did pretty much the same exact thing. We came back up, tested it before coming down. Could we be seeing the same thing? Very possible, guys. I've been watching this, waiting for this for quite a while. It does look like we may end up getting this. Let's see what's going on with gold. So we were looking at this as an ABC, and I had said we had this chart exactly the same all the way since November, and as you can see, we did come down to that 1736 we were waiting for, and I set a break of this. We're most likely headed to this area. Looks like that's where we're going, guys. Looks like we definitely could be headed down to the 1647 for gold, and if that breaks, guys, it gets really ugly. Now let's take a look at the DXY. We've been watching this fractal. We have broken out. We came back, tested the wedge for support, got support. As you can see, last time we did that, back here when we broke out of this wedge was around April 19th. So keep that date in mind. I'm going to show you some stuff on the Bitcoin chart. April 19th, 2018. And let's take a look at what we could be looking at. We could see something just like this in the dollar over the next year or two. We could have a rise in it if it does play out like this, which it does seem to be. Even if we look at the indicators here, I have a MACD indicator here, and you can see the two blue arrows. I showed the two humps within the fractal, and as you can see, on the second one we came down, and I've talked about this last week where our indicator line input line came over here. It kind of started turning over and then popped back up. Same thing here, and as you can see, when we started getting the light blue, which is more bullish on the MACD, it started popping up. We are right in that same area, which is the breakout area. Also and this is the 3-day chart, by the way, guys. But also, once we broke out of the wedge here, you can see what happened. And we've broken out and retested the wedge over here in the RSI. This is the 3-day chart, like I said. So the dollar is looking bullish, contrary to what everybody is saying. And let's take a look at, this is the dollar overlaid on the Bitcoin chart. As you can see, every time we bottom out on this bottom trend line on the dollar, Bitcoin is at or near its top. Again, I'm not saying it's at its top. I'm saying it's a possibility. And if you get mad at hearing that because you just want to hear it going up, you need to check your emotions. Because nobody knows what it's going to do, and I do believe it could be nearing the top, if not already. As you can see back here, Bitcoin top, dollar bottom. Bitcoin top, dollar bottom. And right here is that April 19th, April 20th area. This is when the dollar broke out of its wedge. As you can see, Bitcoin made one more little high here and continued down. And every time the dollar tops, which if the dollar gets a run up like this again, signals Bitcoin's bottom. So be aware of that. You need to be watching all markets, not just Bitcoin, if you want to get a feel for what's going on with Bitcoin. If you guys are interested in trading, where you can trade Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, and you can trade on here using your Bitcoin. So by trading all those other pairs, you can get more sats to collect a Bitcoin. So check it out if you haven't already. I'll leave a tutorial up top on how to use their margin, and you can use my promo code Savy50 to get you 50% on whatever you deposit as a bonus. So if you put in 1 Bitcoin, you'll get a half a Bitcoin bonus to use towards your margin, and then Savy25 will get you 25% off of your trading fees. All right, let's take a look at the 1 hour chart. So as you guys know, we've been looking for this $38,600 to $40,000 range, and that is a measured move. Whoops, let me get that back. That's just a measured move of this rising channel. You see right here, if we measure the width of the channel to where we first broke out of it, gets us down to around that 45. This is the chart I was saying looks a lot like gold, and we'll talk about that when we go into the 4 hour, the next one. But this could be an ABC correction. Of course, the invalidation point is breaking this 52.8, and the 1-to-1 extension, if this is an ABC here, gets us down to around that 38.6 range. If this ends up being a bigger 1, 2, and a 3 down here, could get us down to that $30,000 range, low 30s, and I'll show you that in the 4 hour chart. Let's get over to that now. Well, let's hold on, go back to the 1 hour. In the 1 hour, we are making, if we go off of this peak here to here, lower highs, if we go from here, same peak to here, that's higher highs, that's hidden bearish divergence. And in hidden bearish divergence, hidden divergence is usually a continuation of the downtrend. So it does look like that is possibly what we're seeing here. And if we came back down to that 40,500 range, could be around the end of this week, beginning of next week, according to the timing on this. But timing is the hardest to judge. All right, let's look at the 4 hours. So the 4 hour, we've been watching this rising wedge here. And the same thing, let me zoom in real quick and then I just wanted to show you how similar this is to that gold pattern. As you can see, our B up here, we could continue up here. If we open and close 4 hour candle above this 55 EMA, which is around 48,450, we got 2 hours to close. If we do close above this, we could get up, you know, come up a little bit more like up here like we did in gold. As you can see on the second one, we almost got to the same top as the prior peak over here. And it's looking very similar. But if we do come down to that 38.6 range, which would be a 1-to-1 extension, would be around the bottom of this wedge here. And it's Litecoin made almost the same wedge too, and if we do what Litecoin does, it did come down and test here. We talked about that in Monday's video, and we did get down there. And as you can see here, we seem to be in a rising channel in the RSI, and we could see something like this and continue down. So that could get us down to that 38.6 range. It is looking pretty likely. Again, unless we pass this 52,100 area, if we break this high right here, we could be coming all the way up, make a new high, and retest these levels up top. Now, in the very bullish case scenario, if we do come back up here, retest this area, and break through the top, get support on it, we could be looking at, you know, $80,000, depending on where we hit. If we came up to the 62, 63,000 here and broke, could be looking at $85,000 Bitcoin. That's the super bullish case. Now, what happens if we come down here to this? We come down here to this 38.6 level. I'm sure we would get a bounce, but if we eventually break it down here, we could be looking as low as $15,000, $14,500 to $15,000 Bitcoin. Do I think it's going to drop straight out of here? Probably not. I would expect a bounce if we even get down to this level. But just so you're aware, it is still possible, no matter what everybody's saying or thinking. Nobody knows what the market's going to do. But again, very bullish case, we break this and get support, continue up. Very bearish, we break this bottom trend line and continue down. And looking at the macro, this is a 2-day chart, and I put the fib channels on here, and as you can see, we got rejected at the 0.236, which we did over here. If we look at the bullish case, if we do get a bullish push like people believe, we come up and break this fib again, which would be around the 63,000 range, get support up here. If we did come back up and retest these tops again, that could be $100,000 to $200,000 Bitcoin. It is a possibility. I think it's a little less likely. I think we at least come down and test this 0.382 fib on the channel around the 31 to 32,000, depending on where and when or if it gets down there. And let's take a look at the 3-day. So we've been talking about this 3-day bearish engulfing candle, which we have gotten some downside after that. In a bearish and engulfing candle, the wicks engulf both wicks on the prior candle, and the body engulfs the body on the prior candle. What we could be seeing here now, a few different ways to look at this, but as of right now, we had higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the RSI. That's bearish, so that goes along with the bearish engulfing candle. This RSI, if we do get a turnaround here, come all the way back down to this level, and that would go with believing that this is the top. Again, I'm not saying it's the top, but you need to be cautious. Let's look at another possibility. This could be a giant head and shoulders, depending on where the neckline is. But as you guys know, Bitcoin's known to do 80 to 90% corrections after a big rally. And that would bring us down to around the 9,000 if that was the case. Now, if we look at the funding rate here, we were coming down a little bit. It was getting at more favoring the bears, but it popped back up already, favoring the bulls again. So I'd be very cautious here. And looking at this on the daily, let's zoom in a little bit. We are above the EMAs right now, but let's see where this daily closes. If we do close above the 48.5 range, then, you know, Bitcoin could remain bullish here. But I don't think we're going to come up and break the all-time high before coming back down to the lower level first. My opinion, of course, the market doesn't have to do what I think or what I want. Let's look at one more thing. Let's look at that weekly close from yesterday. Let me get this stuff off here real quick. So on the weekly, we could get all the way back up to the middle of this body, 52,000. That's around that same range. So if we do break that 52,000, we could continue up. Right now, the 8 EMA is right around the 43,228. There's really no, this is really actually a no trade zone at this moment. But I am doing lives again. So if something changes and I'm available and able to, I will do a live stream if I see something major happening in the charts. But like I said, as of right now, I still believe there's a good possibility we get down to that $38,000 to $40,000 range. Another thing we're looking at is, as you can see, this rising channel over here. This is 2017's blow off top. Once we break through this rising channel, we come up and we always break down below it. And this blue arrow here signifies, let me zoom in so you guys can see it, and I'll go ahead and explain this real quick before we get into Litecoin. Every time Bitcoin tops, it creates a triangle of some sort at the top. As you can see, the rising channel, from the second touch of the rising channel here, we put a trend line across and we always seem to capitulate past that. What was our percentage here? We dropped 84% from the high in 2017. Also, if you draw the triangle in there, it measured out perfect. The measured move got us to our low at 3,100. If we do the same in 2019, we look at the rising channel, second touch of the rising channel, trend line across, we capitulated past it. And as you can see, we formed the triangle. The measured move of that triangle got us to our low. Not quite all the way to our low, but we did drop 72%. What happens if this is just a giant fractal? and this is the top. Depending, this could just make a giant triangle, and this is a speculative triangle. We don't even know if the top's in yet, but if this was the case and we did, and guys, remember now, even if it's a top, it does not, people always seem to think, you know, it just means you go straight down like this. That's not how it works at all. Even if this is the top, we could see some more upside. Could come all the way back up to here, come back down. There's a lot of bouncing around in these areas, guys, if this is the case. Let me get that off there. But anyways, a 85% correction down here would get us somewhere around 87 to $9,000 range, and that would get past our trend line from the second touch on the rising channel here. So I don't know, I would be extremely careful. I know everybody's super bullish and thinks it's going to continue up, which, like I said, it definitely could. There's a possibility. Let's keep an eye on the 52,000 for right now. Let's look at Litecoin. As you can see, Litecoin rising wedge, just like Bitcoin. We did come back almost to our target. Actually, I think we did hit our target. Yes, 152.52. We hit 152.59. So we almost got our touch on the bottom of this wedge. If we look at the EMAs here, we are below the 8 EMA. The 13 seems to be crossing the 13 right now. We could range in this area for a little while longer, come back down, retest this one more time before continuing up. But if we do continue up here, the same thing as in Bitcoin, in the bigger picture, if we come up to, if we shot straight up here to the $270 range, broke through the top of the wedge, we could be looking at a 300, somewhere in the range of $300 Litecoin. Now, if we come down and break the bottom here, we could be coming down to a $50 or less Bitcoin. And that, again, that doesn't mean it goes straight down, guys. Comes down. This is the long term. This is, if this was to happen, you know, by the at earliest the middle of this year, but I think it would take longer than that. It could take probably a year if it is starting the bear market. But some areas to watch here is this 184, right around 184. If we can get back above 184, open and close the daily above that, we're most likely going to break the all-time high over here. If not, if we come down, break the bottom of this wedge, it gets more and more like we're going to see some much lower lows. Ethereum, same thing. We didn't have a wedge in Ethereum, but we do have a rising channel here that we did break down through. The measured move of where we broke here actually gets us down to right in the 1050 range. Also have a target down here towards the 940, and that's where the 200 EMA is down here. Same thing in the RSI. You can see we're in a channel here. Looks like we can get one more test to the bottom of this channel. We'll see how this works out. Let's see how the daily closes and see if we get any divergence in here. But if we come up, retest the bottom of this channel, we're going to be between the 1650 and 1660 if we do it in the next day or two. If we get rejection here, we could be coming down to these lows. Otherwise, in the bullish case, we come back up, open and close the daily inside the channel, and we come all the way back up to test the top trend line around 2200. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now, guys. Let's look at my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com. Definitely check it out. There's links down below, along with other affiliate links that help the channel out. She makes a lot of cool stuff on here. It's all quality, not garbage. It's a process called sublimation, if you guys ever heard of it. But she has a crypto section, a lot of gift ideas. She can put anything you want on any of this stuff. All right, let's pick our winner of our Ledger Nano S, and the number is 1. This is my YouTube page, guys. If you check it out, definitely make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already, and leave your comment below for your chance to win next week's. But there is a section down here with some tutorials, some different tutorials down here if you guys want to check them out. But all right, number 1, that was yesterday's video. Let's copy the link address. We'll bring it over to the random comment picker. And let's go to comments. Load the comments, start, and let's see. Trade with M3. Savy has bearish divergence. It's going to drop hard. Savy, you're a hater to the moon, blah, blah, blah. And then it drops and everyone's like, what the heck? Congratulations, trade with me. You are the winner. Get a hold of me. I'll make sure it's you, verify it's you, and then I will get your Ledger Nano S sent out. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I will see you tomorrow. Like I said, I may do a live stream tonight if something happens or something changes. Take it easy, guys. I'm out.